Hello everyone, my name is Lightly Headed, and in today's video I'm going to try to make mob farms but without the general knowledge of making a mob farm. And I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, it's not. So let's get on with the video, shall we? At first, I think we're gonna try to make the mob farm 5 blocks tall and 8 blocks wide. And as you can see, I cleared the area as 5 blocks tall and 8 blocks wide, and I measured it using the torches on the ground. The next step of the mob farm, I thought, would be to add water on all the corners to actually push the mobs to a certain place, so let's do that. Okay, so after adding the waters to all the corners and making it flow towards a certain direction, we're gonna dig through this block. I guess it's not going to plan. There is a mine shaft down here, and I think the mobs would spawn here instead of the mob farm I created above here, so that's a problem. Okay, so after moving from that devastating experiment, I think we're gonna try a new approach. For this one, I went with the mob farm which is partially underground and above the ground. Let me show you what I mean. In here, there's two parts. One is the staircase, which is right here, and this leads directly to the storage room. And for some reason, there is a spider here. I've also made the staircase go straight forward so that it does not waste much time. And there are chests above so you can easily access them. Like these. I'm just gonna open a few to test these out, and they work properly. It took me so long to realize that I had to be 20 blocks above the ground for the mobs to spawn. And this is the live footage of how the mob farm works, and oh, that happened too quickly. Well, we'll have to see if another mob spawns or not. Okay, so I found another mob, and yep, it's working as intended. So I guess I'll deem that as a success. And for some reason, this reminds me of an incinerator. Switching up the biomes a bit, I made another one in the snow biomes to see if it actually would work. Here, and the structure I made resembles a tower. And I did some experiments and the tower was not seeming to work. So I'll show you what I am trying to mean here. The space I built here was the actual place where the mobs were supposed to spawn, but instead they were spawning on top of it. So it was not working quite as intended. Back to the plains biome, I made some slight improvements and changes to the previous tower, and let's say I think it's gonna work. So it has 3 layers, and the top layer is where the mobs are supposed to spawn. And I used slabs on top of it so that the mobs won't spawn above here. And this is the second part and first part. And I need to add something here so that the mobs don't accidentally fall over here. But for now, it's safe to say that I'm stuck in here without breaking the blocks. So if it works for me, I hope it works for them as well. By them, I mean the mobs. This is how the mob farm looks from afar, and these are the insides of the mob farm. And I've also used some simple redstone to help with the mob drops. As for mob drop collection, there is a chest down there which we can access, so that's that. And the pressure plates here are connected to the redstone, which are connected to the sticky pistons. By backing up, we can see that the sticky pistons are connected to some blocks, which will help in the mob farm. And the sticky pistons are situated in both sides, so by walking on the pressure plate, it will directly trigger. As for the upper parts, we can see that there is a hole here, and in the second layer there is water which pushes the mobs if they get stuck here, and in the third one, well, the mobs spawn there. And for the mobs to spawn, I'll turn it to nighttime. And now we play the waiting game, I suppose. I'll back up from here so that the mobs spawn. I've also added a block in front so that the mobs don't escape or fall down. And it seems like the mob spawner is working. I think the creeper went up. Yep. I'll use it again, I suppose. And it's working as intended. Just don't do it too early or else it will get stuck in the machine. And we have 2 more. So I guess that is enough proof that it works. But it has some disadvantages like the mobs getting stuck in the redstone, so there are both advantages and disadvantages. Future light here, I just realized I could have made the mob farm on ocean instead of here, so that I wouldn't have had to waste torches lighting this area. After wasting half an hour lighting the entire area of the mob farm, so that the mobs don't spawn anywhere else, I'm building on the ocean finally. And this is what I came up with. If I had to say, this one is quite different from the others because it has an infrastructural base and it has a unique outlook to it compared to the others. And I think it should work since I made it exactly 20 blocks high. Not exactly, but more than 20 blocks high. You can also see I went a bit overboard with the entrance. So without further ado, let's see what the inside of the base looks like. And in here there's a bubble elevator which will instantly launch you towards the base. And there is a trapdoor used just in case there's some drowned trying to enter. And by clicking on the trapdoor, we can enter into the base without any problem. Easy access. Now you can get on the trapdoor and close it. And this is how the mob farm looks like. It's somewhat open. And the mobs, which will spawn here, will keep a safe distance from you so that the mobs don't instantly attack you. And there is a dropper here which can collect the items and it will get instantly transported to the barrels. This is the staircase which leads you to the top where you can AFK and be safe. And it's quite high from the ground, so you better be careful while you're AFKing here. Yeah, while experimenting, I found a creeper and it instantly blew up, killing me. So that was another problem in the mob farm, which I had to fix. And this is not quite shocking. And so I keep finding more loopholes. Great. So I will stay here for the mobs to actually spawn and give them some time to walk around. Inside the base, the changes you can see in here are the extra trapdoors I added just for extra safety measures. In the last one, the creeper was in front of here, so when I opened it, it instantly blew up. And in this case, I can just close it so that the creeper won't be able to instantly hit me. Speaking of mobs, I think I saw another creeper. Yep, this one is here. But the reason why it's not exploding is because I'm in creative mode. Also, you don't have to worry about it since the trapdoor can cancel out the creeper explosion. So, it's more safer than the previous one. So, this small farm is a success. And somehow a fish got stuck in here. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, as for this mob farm, I went with the underground type, which means I made it underground, obviously, and it's quite tricky if I don't show you. It resembles like an underwater tornado, which pulls everything to the bottom. I went for that kind of look, but it does not completely look like that. And this is actually where the mobs are dragged to the mob farm. So if a mob walks through here, it will instantly get dragged by the bubble column, which is caused by the magma block. And it will deal periodic damage, and the mob drops would be collected in the dropper, which is situated right beside it. But for actually getting to the mob farm, this is the entrance, which is easily blocked off by the trapdoor, and since it's water, there would be no fall damage. The thing that makes this mob farm different from the others is that I implemented the aspect of the base with the mob farm. That means it's an underground base, which has storage capacity and everything you can fit for living underground. However, the items are only collected in this barrel, so you'll have to keep on storing these in other places. Moving upwards, there is the mob farm I've shown before, and the slabs are used on top of the dropper to collect the items, and the mobs can't attack you from being inside the glass. So, I would say it's the safest mob farm I've built since this video. So, when it's nighttime, the mobs would fall through the underwater tornado and get pulled here. And I think it's nighttime right now because the mob just spawned. And it's working as intended, which is great, but a little bit time consuming. Now, on top of the mob farm, we can see that the mobs are walking beside the mob farm but not going there. So, you can see there are 2 creepers and they're not moving towards the direction. Oh, wait, it is moving towards the direction. Nope, it's not. And for the mob farm to actually work, we need these mobs to actually go on top of the water tornado. And the creeper just ran in. But it does not seem like it's actually getting pulled by the underwater tornado. It will take some time, but it will get dragged by the underwater tornado because of the water currents. And if I'm right, we should see that the creeper... yeah, it went in the right direction and is getting pulled down the bubble elevator, which we saw. The only exception to this small farm at this current time is the spider, because it has a bigger hitbox compared to the others. So, except for the spider, all the mobs should get pulled by the underwater tornado. And if the mob drops don't get picked up by the dropper, you can easily walk up to the glass and easily pick it up. The glass panels are thin enough for the items to get through to you. As for the decoration purposes, I used different ocean-themed items to make it look more appealing. The main theme of this mob farm is using bubble elevators. For the mob farm, it was magma block, and for getting out of the base, I used soul soil for making a bubble elevator to the top to leave the base quickly. To activate the bubble elevator, I used a pressure plate, which was connected to some simple redstone mechanics. And since the pressure plate remains active for a small period of time, the bubble elevator will disappear in a few minutes. And without the redstone mechanism, it would take a long time to get to the surface without drowning. So I decided to make an automatic, or partially automatic, bubble elevator. And I also decorated it with chains and signs so it looks more suitable to the base instead of being outlandish. Actually, I think it would be more easier if I just showed you guys how the bubble elevator worked. So by going in the bubble elevator, we can instantly reach the surface without any problem. And just close the trapdoor so that the mobs don't get inside the base. If I'm going to be honest, it feels more like a secret base than a mob farm. Well, closing in near the end, I thought building mob farms would be easier than I expected. But in all honesty, I had some fun as well. And if you guys truly enjoyed the video, you could subscribe. And to those who don't want to, there's no pressure. And I'll try to upload a bit more frequently in the future without trying to procrastinate again. So, have a great day, everyone.